Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Oh crap, wrong fairy tale! What is up, everybody? RandomRandomMan here, bringing you my review for the 2015 version of Cinderella, which stars Lily James, Cate Blanchett, Richard Madden, Stellan Skarsgård, and Helena Bonham Carter, and is directed by Kenneth Branagh. Now the plot, which of course is based off of the 1950 Disney classic and the fairy tale Cendrillon, written by Charles Perrault, follows a girl named Ella, played by Lily James, who has the purest heart of anyone imaginable. That is, until she is put under the cruel work ethic of her evil stepmother, played by Cate Blanchett, and her daughters. That is, until Ella meets a prince, played by Richard Madden, and her fairy godmother, played by Helena Bonham Carter, and everything changes. Now, I know this review for this movie is fairly late, considering that I haven't seen this movie until very recently, so I can have a review for it. But since I have seen it, I don't remember reading the original fairy tale, but I do remember, just like practically every young child out there, having seen the original animated classic from 1950. Forget about those unnecessary sequels, mind you, but I still think the original one from 1950 is a classic and still is very good to my surprise. So, how do I feel that they remade, or more so reimagined, this classic? Well, I had moderate expectations going in. At first I thought, what's the point of doing this, as the original is still fairly good, but I did see some previews and heard some good things about this film, so I went into it going with a very positive attitude. How was it? Let's run down the whole thing. The cast here are mostly unknowns in my eyes, except for two actresses, as this is a mostly British cast, and they're pretty much unknown to an American like myself. But Lily James in the lead role as Ella, or later on Cinderella, is actually fantastic here. I think she is the ideal representation of how the live-action version of this character should be. She looks stunning when she is in the famous dress and after the famous sequence where she does become a lot more stunning. And she does exemplify the themes of kindness and courage throughout this film. And while it is constantly spewed out, she does a very good job here. Cate Blanchett as, of course, the evil stepmother, Lady Tremaine. Now, I love the two-time Academy Award-winning actress, of course. Is this role as good as those films? No. But she is also very good here, too. She does add a sense of evilness, if you will, to a movie like this that is mostly aimed for a younger audience. And while she doesn't become that evil, in my opinion, she is still enough to have kids wanting to punch her in the face every time she does come up and want to tear down Cinderella. And she still acts with the sort of levity that she does encompass as herself in Hollywood, and I think she's utilized well. The rest of the cast here I do think are also very good. I think that Stellan Skarsgård and Richard Madden as the father of the prince and the prince himself respectively are used well, and of course Helena Bonham Carter as the fairy godmother. Now, she is only in this film for probably about, I'd say, 10 minutes probably, but I think that with her illustrious characteristics that she has to put on for the character she is playing is used well too. Now, there are also other people that I haven't mentioned, but for what I have to say here, for the main players in the film, I think that they are just excellent. The story here, yeah, nothing new is shown here, especially considering that it's pretty much beat for beat like the original Disney film and probably with other renditions of the story, which I can consider a bad thing since nothing new at all, well, except for some exceptions, are showcased here, but I can't really say so as there isn't really too much in the way of trying to spice up the story for a new audience, but I'll give the film that. But I will say, there is an attempt to show off three story arcs here, that of course being the main one with Cinderella, the one with Lady Tremaine and her daughters, and even Prince Charming and his dad. Now, I will say, of course, the Cinderella one is the core one and the strongest of the three, but I will say, out of the two new ones that are trying to be shown off here, I was compelled quite a bit by the prince and his father, as they have several echoes of storyline that do parallel Cinderella's storyline. The Lady Tremaine storyline is there, but I don't think it's too much in the way of special. but it does its job for what it does, and Lady Tremaine is supposed to be the main villain anyway. But the best part about this movie, other than some of the acting, is the visuals. Wow, this is such a beautiful looking movie, from the set design, the costumes, and even the special effects. I even enjoyed some of the CG characters like the animals, which I didn't think I would enjoy, as CGI animals are hit or miss with me, but they actually look pretty cool to my surprise. And just everything in between with the kingdom, the magical elements with the fairy godmother, and just everything else. Kenneth Branagh is such a visionary director in my eyes. He has an eye for eye candy, if I do say so myself. So once again, this is probably my favorite part of the movie, because if you're looking for eye candy in this movie, there's plenty to gawk at. This movie also runs at a pretty brisk pace with about an hour and 45 minutes, and it runs by like that, as it's especially akin to being a movie for younger audiences, so kids won't be stuck in the theater for too long. And I think everything comes together pretty well by the end, as many of us know the ending and everything like that. So it's going to be nothing new once again, which is one of the problems I do have with this film, but I can't really knock it too much once again. So all this comes in a complete package that is magical and a nice spin on a very renowned classic. My final thoughts on this movie are that while it is an overly familiar take on an already familiar tale, it is a gorgeously, visually, and all-around stunning visual marvel. The characters are actually a nice update to their 1950s rendition, and it's a complete package that for those younger audiences out there who haven't seen Cinderella already and want to see a rendition of the fairy tale that does stay true to the original Disney film and is just darn pretty to look at, I will definitely recommend this movie. And even for older audiences such as myself will get a kick out of all the magic that is involved here. Once again, I do recommend this movie, and I overall think it was really good. My final verdict for Cinderella is 4 out of 5 stars. One quick note before the end of this video. You'll be delighted to know that before the movie does begin, there is a Frozen Fever short attached to the beginning of this film. And I will say myself that the characters are as charming as ever as they were in the main film, and there are subtle nuances that Frozen fans will appreciate, and is actually a nice treat to see. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of Cinderella, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.